broadcast that I didn't need to change the name. Happiness. So the broadcast will be about Finland. Why I'm here, how, what the fuck.
Baby, I'm so low-fi. Everything is wrong on me, but I managed to survive.
Ta-dam! So I was reading the comments like from the first video and the second, and I think it's finally time to talk about like how I end up in Finland, what I'm doing, what I did, how I was adapting and everything. So I wrote down some stuff that people have been asking about, and I'm about to reach 4 years living here. So I think it's a nice timing to tell a story how beauty end up in the cold Iceland, not Iceland, you know. It always starts with where, what the fuck, what was through my mind when I decided. I remember when I think I was like 5th grade or so, yeah, and I was on the English classes that I had a crush to my teacher, and he had like long hair and he listened a lot to Finnish bands and stuff. And we were talking about like where is the mostly far away country you would like to go to, like if you could leave from Brazil, and everybody in my class was like England, USA, Japan. I mean, Japan is my second option, like if I wouldn't have came to Finland, Japan was the second option. But I was like looking at the map and I'm like thinking about what my teacher liked, and I was like, I'm going to Finland. It's far, it's totally different culture. And from then and on, like, so I was 5th grade, 12, 11ish, I think. From that I decided, like, it got in my subconscious somehow. People talking about travel and everything, I'm like, no, I'm saving to go to Finland and stuff. And listening to Sonata Arctica and him, yeah, it didn't fuck at all. But I have a heartogram here. Let's see, I'm trying to connect the information that I have in my brain. Then when I finished high school, in like 6 months I got my first job, and I was like for 3 years in that first job. So I saved up some money because I didn't had much to buy besides like concert tickets and clothes, because I was living like with my grandma and goddad, and I was receiving like very well for my first job. Okay, then when I was about to leave the first job, I applied to university, but I wasn't sure if I would like pass, because in Brazil we have this test and get like from total scholarship to half scholarship or some percents or like. So I remember that I applied for journalism, tourism. Tourism was actually in the south of Brazil, and but my first option was teaching Portuguese and English, that in Brazil is called letras. And I was like, I'm not going to pass, I'm going to Finland and stuff. I was even like looking my Instagram, there's so many things talking about I'm going to Finland in like 2011, yeah. But then when I was like making the count, like how much would go to travel to Finland, and I was like 21, I received a letter telling that I passed 100% scholarship in the university, and I was like, well, timing, maybe not the timing. It was 3 years, up and down, and always keeping in my mind that I wanted to come to Finland. At some point I was like Ireland, maybe because I watched too much like movies about Ireland, and like Ireland, it's not for me. Then when I finished the university, it was 2014, and I was working, I was teaching. So I was trying to like raise my career on it, and I was focused just on that. And Finland was keeping like a dream, like going on and on and on. Then in the end of 2015 I had like a really bad depression. Like nothing was making sense. Like nothing. I was with a good work. On weekends I was on the scouts, on the troop leader. I was helping at home, like nothing was making sense for me. And then I was like to my parents, I'm going anywhere. I'm going like anywhere. And I was about to go to France. My brother has a friend in France, and I was about to go babysitting for her, but then we saw it would be so much like trouble because we know each other, and we kind of gave up on it. Oh yeah, and some years before, like when I was 18, I was about to go to Belgium also, to move to Belgium, but things went kind of whatever. But I wasn't like so attracted about Finland, about France, because I'm not so interested about. Then I start to look at this called site, Workaway. It's like worldwide that you go and do volunteer work. So like you get a bed and you get a room or food and you help in some work, like heavy work or slightly work, like go walk dogs and stuff. And I remember that I found this ecological hostel in Porvo, and I was talking to them, and then I was talking also to girls that live in Salo to dog walk her dog. So pretty much in 2014 I decided to really go. But a little bit back to it, in 2010, if I'm not wrong, I was like, I'm going to Finland, and then a close friend of mine found like a girlfriend in Omegle, and he came to Finland and he spent 3 months with her, and that was it. He got back. And when he got back, he didn't talk to me anymore and stuff like that. So some years after, I think 2014 or 15, he found other girlfriend from Finland, and he moved to here. And that I was just listening like informations from friends and stuff, and he kind of like hopped in on my dream and end up here like before me. And we don't talk. I know where he lives and stuff. He lives here. He's still married and stuff, but the story is so like gossip. So there was like so many times that my life was like tangled with Finland. So for example, when I was, I don't know, 16, 17, I had this online friend that I met this year. I had this online friend, and we talked over the years, and was always funny because one disappear, other disappear, life going on and on and on. Also, on the last month that I was in Brazil, I made an online friend. I was teaching him like some conversation in Portuguese, and he's super cool. He's like, I don't know, 20, 21. He's like young brother for me. So I had like all my life tangled with Finland. Always, like a lot of things I was doing was like Finland. So first part is done, talking how and why I came to here. So this is going to be a really long broadcast. Now let's go to the how. As I told, I looked in this Workaway site. Everything was like fixed. I was supposed to stay here 3 months. And for those 3 months, I would stay in the ecological hostel. There's videos on really in the beginning of the channel. You can go and check if you are interested, because I used to record really everything I was doing. And I remember that when it was some months before I was about to come to Finland, I started to go like over my friends, the Finnish friends, and start to look for people to connect, like to hang out with people when I got in here. So I made a friend, and we talked like twice, and that person ended up picking me up on the airport, helping me to find the hostel that I would stay in Porvo and stuff, because the airport is in Vantaa. So he helped me. Later on we started to date, and later on we were married. That's more or less how I end up here. So if people ask like what are the meanings to stay in Finland, to stay in Finland you gotta be studying, working, or relative to a Finnish person. That's it. Those are the meanings to stay in Finland at this far, or like as a refugee. Why? So I told why. When I moved here in 2016, May. I left Brazil on 23 of May, and I arrived here on 24th. So I'm about to reach 4 years in here. How? I told how I ended up here. So let's go to adapting. Adapting was a crazy little thing, let's say. Let's be really honest. Because, well, I was recently married that I never thought I would end up married at 26 with someone that I knew like, I don't know, 6 months. We were living together and already like did one travel together to Amsterdam and stuff like that. Everything was super cool, like all the experience. So adapting was kind of weird because we didn't knew what to do. Like, yeah, you are here, and how about now? How do you get a job? How do you get to study? How do you do integration classes or anything? So we applied for the visa permission and like the permanent living here. The I think it's permanently oleskelulupa. Then it took 7 months. I lost basically 7 months living here doing nothing because they were in between change the whole process of immigration from police to one like thing called migre. So I got exactly this changing. So it took 7, even more, 8 months. It took 8 months for my permission to come out. Meanwhile, I was doing nothing. That was exactly when I did the everyday videos. So I was like for 2 months and a half recording every day because, well, I was at home. I had some savings, as I told that I was saving since I was, I don't know, 15. And I was basically living with it. And remember, I came with reais and I was living in a country where it's euros. So be really prepared if you're wanting to come to Finland. Then when the permission came out, instantly the government found me a place to study Finnish. In that whole 8 months, I was like, I went to some women classes in Finnish. I learned really, really basic like market stuff, greetings and numbers, just that, not like much. So I knew like almost nothing, but me between my partner we were speaking only in English, and I wasn't going out so much because I didn't had permission to go out so much. One day I might talk about it, but yeah. And when it came out the permission to study, the government arranged the integration classes. Those integration in Finland last I think 3 years. So the government will help you and assist you to pursue a career and stuff. As I have my background in teaching, they were like always focusing on it, but at some point it got really messy. But yeah, I continue. My degree is not accepted in Finland unless I would actually pay to the Finnish National Agency for them to watch my degree, and watching my degree they would tell yes or no if I can. Okay, I kind of forgot to charge my two cameras, so I'm recording with the phone, and possibly the audio will be different. So yeah, I was talking about the Finnish classes. Yeah, I would need to pay for the Finnish agency and stuff because in here to be teacher you need to have a master degree and so. So they got me in a really really good classes that were like when they did the interview with me to see how much I knew in Finnish and stuff. They asked, "Do you want the traditional method or do you want a different one?" And I was like, "I want the different one because I know how the traditional works. We see it on the table." Grammar, vocabulary, and stuff. And they put me in one school called Onenkieli. And that school basically use a method of movements, repetitions, and the words get like memorized in your brain. So yeah, it was cool, but at the same time I was going through some stuff at home that wasn't so cool. So the school started to be a little bit heavy because everyday repetition, and it needed to be really sociable, always smiling and singing. And there were some days that I was just like, can't. I think I went well after all because that first, it was from August, I think. I really don't remember, or October. August, October to beginning of year March. So it was almost like 5 months every day, 5 days per week for like 6 hours more or less. And I went from zero. I mean, yeah, I will consider zero because I just knew some random words. I didn't construct any sentences back then. From A 2.1. There is because there is the A 0, 1, 2, and then 3 is level B. Well, there is those stuff. I don't know if you're interested about it, but yeah. Then, meanwhile, during those classes, it's when I got more in touch with Finnish culture because before, as I told, I wasn't living so much. I didn't have friends. I wasn't seeing the world and stuff. So during the classes, I learned about like Mina Kent and Rodenberg and like all this holidays and stuff like that. Those classes were really cool. I should actually do really a video about it. I've been taking so long to talk about it, but I have the material here, so I can do a video explaining more or less how the method works. Then the classes finished in 2018. Yeah, March. I went to Brazil, visit my family because then I was allowed. When I came back, I started the second module. The second module was more to prepare you for a working life or studying life. So we continue with finish until more or less October again. Also, yeah, I think I started the first module on October. And it was more or less until October. We learned more Finnish. It was also every day. And then last 2 months and a half, we had this harjoitelu. Harjoitelu, it was like a training for Finnish. So they sent you to a place, you decide the place, and you learned, you use your English. The place I went was um, a immigrants center where they go there. It's like a house, they hang out and chill out and stuff, like create music, take pictures. That was only for boys. It was really cool, even though I could actually use English sometimes. So, and then we got back to the school. Then I had like some classes about SOTE, Sociale Terveysala. That means that was the social, educational, and healthcare area, I guess. I think it's more or less the translation. I learned a little bit, and they start to push me to do like lahihoitaja. Lahihoitaja is more or less like to take care, and it's like you can work with vanhusten, like with old people, or with päiväkodis in the daycare. And I wasn't like very interested about it at all because I can't work with old people. My heart would be like so broken and stuff. Like I have my old people back in Brazil, so I can't. But then I was like, maybe I could work with the kids and stuff. But no, I had my idea to do the visual arts plus something connected to my teaching because I like to work with teenagers, and working, for example, with teenagers or immigrant teenagers would be my focus, and I could create stuff with them because it's nowadays is the way for them to express. I don't even know if people will watch the video this much. So adapting here started on my like completely first year. Then I start to have friends, hang out, and make more friends and make more friends, and then relationship ends, other relationship starts, other relationship ends, and going on and on. So I went so many places, I did so many things, and start to adapt. I can tell that I feel I'm adapted, even though I don't have like really close friends. I know one person, I know the other person and stuff. I don't have close friends. I don't have like family here, like because some people get adopted by families and stuff. But I can tell that I'm adapted. I know how to live here. I know more or less what can be learned in 4 years, or there's people that learn even longer. I know how to find myself. I know how to speak Finnish, like I tell that it's very basic, but it's like intermediate. I can watch TV totally in Finnish. What else was on the questions? Oh, yes. Oh my God, that's the one thing that I really like from the Finnish culture is the sauna. I feel like it's like I don't know how to explain, but I really really enjoy. Even though in Brazil with so hot all the time, I was always with low pressure. But when it's winter and it's cold and you go to sauna, it feels like your whole body relax and your mind relax. And I don't know how Like I like it so much. And then the last part, it will be about meeting people and making friends. One thing I can sure tell you, assure, it's it's easy to get to know people. Like you are going to hang out, you're going to say hi, people will be polite back to you and stuff like that. But be close friends is one thing that you never get. Like in Brazil, that is like this. You meet the person once and you become really, really good friends in like so fast time, and soon you are just hanging out and doing everything together. No, that doesn't help. That doesn't happen at all with Finnish people, because they have like really small circle of friends. Normally it's based on hobbies, work, or long term, like from childhood or something. And they normally just hang out with those people, like one or other. And I can tell that it's like I know some amount of people around, but I'm not close to any of them. So I can tell like, oh, that's my friend. But as I can tell, like the word friend in Finnish is ystävä, but they have the word kaveri that is for like known person. I call everybody friend, 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 but the real word I would say would be like colleague, person that I know. So it's easy, depend on the group you are inserted. Like if you are with a partner that have friends, probably will be friends with them, probably not. Like what happened to me. I wasn't friend with like my partner's friends, like none of them. But then I got to know the word by myself. I got to do questions by myself, and everyone that I met was based on my own like initiative. It was cool. It was cool. So it depends a lot how go you're adapting here and how much you are up to meet people. For me, it's really easy to make friends online and try to find like, because online it's easier to get to know what is like close subjects you can talk. It's not like you are it's like friends from the school. Like when I was doing Finnish classes, it was cool. I was friendly with everybody. We were hanging out even though we didn't had so much in common because everybody was from a different part of the country and stuff. Well, apart from the word. But after the classes ended, that was it. We didn't hang out anymore, and then I moved. People stopped to talk. Like life goes on, and I think that pretty much like with anyone in life. Like in Brazil, I receive rarely messages from two friends, and it's not even like I send things and they take like fucking while to answer and stuff like that. So yeah, that was my adapting here. If there is something missing that you would like to know about how was coming to Finland and staying in Finland and what are my future plans, I could talk in a next video, because this one is long as hell and I hope you watch it to the end. And as I told, support your Finnish bands. This I got in a secondhand store. It was like the cough is a beer label, and then I got this. It was just for fun, just for fun. So I hope you enjoyed this broadcast, and we will see soon next Thursday, as every Thursdays. Bye.